The Desert Assassins are at it again, with today's DA adventure coming to you from Baja Sur, the southern state on Mexico's Baja Peninsula. The Desert Assassins have been adventuring around the world for decades and live to share the stoke we experience through the exploration of tough landscapes turned into TV and social media along the way. Today we are in Baja and in our Can-Ams, battling the remote desert, searching for remnants of the Spanish Mission Trail from the 16 and 1700s, along with other Baja history. And none of it is done the easy way or on pavement. We love the dirt, and we plot the most remote routes. My name is Cameron Steele. We created the Desert Assassins as a race team that has gone on to win the Baja 1000, and we are off-road adventurers that have traveled to explore countries and continents while creating media that shares our quest for a dusty and dirty challenge someplace in the world, quenching our thirst for the not normal route for most humans and sharing it with you. Life lived in the never-never, the remote calling of the deserts, today in Baja has been our life's mission. Speaking of missions, the Spanish established 27 missions or sub-mission locations known as visitas along what they believed at the time to be the island of California. A 770-mile-long strip of mountain ranges, arroyos, and endless cactus fields that ended up being a peninsula jutting off the bottom of today's California. We are here to explore and share our finds with you. We have assembled some of the world's preeminent off-road racers to experience the adventure, all while telling the story firsthand for all to enjoy through our media capture while we get our Baja on. The beauty and majestic land of Baja awaits. Let's see what we can get into this time.
It's another beautiful day in Baja, for us, about sharing all of it, all aspects, the people, the food, the culture, the places, whether it's missions, cave paintings, desolate trails, splashing the puddles. It's all part of what we do here at the Desert Assassins, and for me, I'm just proud to have everybody here and be able to share it with them.
He's used to being short.
Making friends already? Yeah.
Now I'm giving him some height so he can look at the world a little differently. He loves it, watch. Come on, buddy, let's go. Guess not.
The day one trail missions back here, one of my favorite spots in Baja in San Ignacio. It's kind of like the middle point when you're going up and down the peninsula. Awesome group of people, a lot of the same people from last year, a couple new faces. But yeah, it sounds like I get to go out front today and lead again, so can't beat it down here.
Phil Blurton from Auburn, California. I race professionally in UTVs for Can-Am. Yes, I've always raced stateside and best in the desert and everything, and this year is the first time I'm actually running the whole score series, so we're focused on Baja this year.
If Phil does not talk a lot, no. You definitely have to kind of like nudge it out of him, but when you get a good conversation, usually about racing in, he starts talking.
He doesn't talk a lot, but he has a heart of a lion, and he lets it all out on the course.
If you have to race against that guy, you know he's putting 2,000,000% into it. And you better too, because he's not going to be easy to beat.
We get to kick it a little bit at some of the races and hang out, but by far this was the most we've got time to spend together. It was awesome, just getting to know him and his co-driver. He's a great guy, phenomenal driver, and it was fun to come out here and kick up dirt with him.
Trail missions is a totally different mindset for me than coming down pre-running. Next week we'll be down here for the 500, and it's like you're down here for work and business. And when we come down on these trips, it's fun. You just cruise around, look at stuff, smash water puddles for fun, stuff you wouldn't typically do. With Cameron, it's like we have a route, but we're also going and just like the route can change throughout the day and we go exploring over here. Whatever really looks cool, we want to check it out.
Being down here in trail trail missions, you know, with Monster Energy, Can-Am. It's been just a blast to hang out with the Desert Assassins and get to go sightseeing, seeing all these amazing places that we normally never get to check out. And I had a good friend, Cynthia, come with me as well, and she was there at Dakar with me, so it's pretty cool to like show her, hey, this is what I've done for, you know, the last 10 years of my life. Is this beautiful place in Baja is so important to me, and I love it so much that I just want to share it with everyone.
And Cynthia got an eyeful when Sarah plowed some silt on purpose. For the camera, she said, but we think it was for Cynthia. Welcome to Baja. Usually getting our adventure started means excitement and roosting, but also that will quickly reveal any mistake we created while packing and organizing our equipment.
So, here we are, media car, tire moved, knocked off the cover, broke the piece of plastic on the reservoir here for our coolant.
We just had a small mishap. It was the way that the spare tire was mounted on the back of a car, moved forward, hit one of the cooler lines, broke it off, and so we went back with some JB weld.
How much pressure are we talking about here?
10,000.
9 plus 1.
To build camaraderie, we always include the push-up game. You can't say the words mine or 10, or you do 9 plus 1 push-ups every day, all day. Then we add words of the day for more fun.
That is a true champion right there. Baja 1000 winner, score overall champion, gets down, does his push-ups, eats dirt on purpose.
You know, when you're in Baja, it sucks like for a car to break down, but it's almost like you get enjoyment. I think everybody gets enjoyment when a car breaks because it gets a group of people together, you find some kind of solution, and it's always a funny Baja fix.
Just trying to teach these pups some roadside repair in Baja. Doesn't always go as planned. So thankfully, somebody had some JB weld, and someone had a zip tie or two. Someone had their pocket knife, and that's basically what we're using to fix it at this point.
Just topping her off, see if she'll work.
40 years of Baja ha-haing has led us to some pretty remote spots, and our routes can be incredibly desolate. Trusting your vehicle and your drivers is crucial. This time it's the 8th mission located at Guadalupe that is an easy 50 miles from any civilization. We can plot and follow routes on our Onyx app, which gives us data like measuring tools to know the miles ahead. This is where the indigenous people of Baja brought the Spaniards to show them the Grubero tree.
Well, we're on an adventure to find a big tree that they made chips out of, but there's some cows and bulls that just won't cooperate. His horns might be cut off, but he still thinks he has them.
The little baby cows aren't sure about the humans, but the big cows are probably used to seeing the people. We were standing on their trail, so they stopped, so we moved off 30 feet and they walked on by.
Pretty cool, little piece of history, right? Something different, you know, you don't talk about every day. The first boat that was built in the Californias or ship, this is the tree that they built it out of.
Spaniards came over 1600s. The story is they built ships out of these trees.
The indigenous people brought the Spaniards up here to show them, and they established Guadalupe Mission Ruins, which was the 8th mission on the peninsula. And yeah, this tree is really unusual. I've never seen this tree anywhere else or anywhere in this area other than this one right here.
Like the early explorers, we were starting to realize the day might not be long enough to get us back in the daylight. 200 miles in and 50 miles still to go. Trying to achieve sunset bangers is a real thing, so we are off to Mulahay.
Day one, trail missions, we made it to our final spot here at this mission. It's so fun down here. I'm in the brand new Maverick R, and this thing, it's phenomenal to go drive these things out there. There's no bad day when you're out here in one of these cars.
Epic, man. 200 miles, just beautiful. I love it down here. It's hard to beat. We got a sunset now. We're in Mulahay, checking out the mission. It's a great day.
How epic is that? Are you kidding me?
How'd we do?
Good, we made it, right?
All right.
There's nothing better than Baja, especially coming to something like this. Like, I don't ever get to see this when I'm racing through here, so to experience this and get to see him back in a car, and he just got it done 10 days ago. Didn't even want to drive it off the trailer. Oh, dang it. 8, 9, 1, 0.
And that's how we do it at Trail Missions. Sunset in the background. Somewhere there's a cold beverage waiting for us, so we gotta go park our Can-Ams and get this done.
You are watching Baja Adventure Programming, Desert Assassin style.
Got my trunks. That means we're going to the beach in Baja. Pretty excited about it. Today is gonna be what I would consider a banger.
I'm excited for today because it looks like we're gonna get to jump in some water. We get to see some cave paintings, and we get to go see a magnesium. It's an epic day with an epic crew. It's so beautiful down here in Molohe right now, and I love this place. My favorite place in Baja.
Honestly, how cool is it to have a Dakar stage winner? I think it's rad. Let's find out more about Sarah.
I'm Sarah Price. I'm from Mojave Valley, Arizona, and I'm a professional off-road racer. I got into off-road racing actually a little bit later in my racing career. I started on dirt bikes at the age of 8 and then got into 4 wheels when I bought my first UTV. And more recently, I achieved one of my dreams, and that is to go to the Dakar Rally in my Can-Am. And so we went there prepared as we can be. So I had a few really good stages. You know, we won a stage and became the first American female to win a stage, which was absolutely amazing. I didn't try to do that. It wasn't the goal, that wasn't the plan, and it just kind of happened. And so that was really awesome, and yeah, I can't wait to go back.
Sarah's a phenomenal driver. We were out here chasing her down yesterday and trying to keep up. A great inspiration to a lot of young women who are trying to get into the sport. It's not a guy sport. Anybody can come out and do this.
She's tough. She knows how to get it done. You know, she's fast, she's smooth, so she gives everyone she races against a run for their money.
After seeing Phil bring his dad in 2023, Sarah was pumped to add her father Gary to the Trail of Missions roster in 2024.
Hadn't got him in a car for a very long time, but he comes from off-road racing as well. And so to see him ripping it up was pretty awesome.
9. That's it. 10. No. Hey, what you did that? Oh my gosh, dude.
No one is exempt from the silliness of the DA Baja shenanigans. Gary actually counted to 10. Shoot, now I said it.
And then my boyfriend's dad's in the passenger seat, so that's even cooler, you know.
For the Desert Assassins, the most remote route is the favorite way, but no matter where you go, there is someone using that road. It seems remote to us, but these routes are somebody's driveway. Well, kind of. Know there may be locals anywhere. Be respectful. We are following some of the Spanish Mission Trail, but the real adventurers were the indigenous people of Baja who date back over 10,000 years. They left art for those of us that have come later to try and understand their story. There are paintings that can be hosted by certified guides, and in some cases by local landowners or their managers, which we were fortunate to connect with on this trip.
How did they even get up there to paint that? They had to build a structure to get up in there and paint that, and they had to find the paints out here someplace to do it. And you know, 1,000 years later, 10,000 years later, it's still here. It's just amazing.
And then to hear the stories from the locals who took us up there and kind of gave us the tour and the lay of the land, it's just neat to see the history and come across things that you've never seen before.
Yeah. They have 7,500 years ago before Christ. And these caves are discovered for the Jesuitas and Misioneros to come to here to explore the lands here, you know. Red is life, black is die.
Wild to see what they did back in the day and to learn the history of them. You know, they were talking about how the red ones mean alive and the black ones mean death. It's just really crazy that that's all still there untouched.
Yeah, it gets a little hot in the valley, so when you see that water, it's a warm welcome. And when you guys let us hit it, we want to hit it. It helps cool us off. It's super fun.
Where there's a camera, then you have to show what you got. And so they said, we're going to be filming when you go through the water, do the little river crossing. And I told my wife, I said, you know, I think they want us to splash. I said, do you mind getting wet? And she says, oh no, let's get wet, it's hot. So we hit it good, and it just completely soaked us, but by the same token, it felt really good.
A bubble bath in Baja? What happened?
You could probably wring my shirt out.
It's always a party when there's water, be it a puddle, a river, or the beach. The DA likes to have some wet fun.
This beach in particular, it's like I've passed it, I think 3 times now pre-running for the Baja 1000. I've drove by here every time with my cell phone out the window of the truck taking pictures, and I've never taken the time to stop here, so it's cool. When Cameron said we were coming here, I'm like, I'm looking forward to this stop the most.
We are at the double-sided beach, I believe it's called, which makes sense because there's a beach right there and there's a beach right here. But this is beautiful. I can't believe that this is Baja. This is my happy place. And my happy place.
The beaches and the bays are beautiful. And from the highway, like I said, I've always seen them, but I never take time to drive in and stay.
How crazy are we? Look right there. Look over there. We're leaving that to go off-road in our Can-Ams. I guess we're not really crazy because it sure is fun. We're gonna go do some exploring. Maybe we'll see something new. Pretty much guarantee it.
Remote fueling is done by buying fuel at the local VP gas station in Baja Sur and using transfer tanks to fuel off the beaten path. Gnarly Dave and Corey get us ready to go for more fun and can always be counted on. The DA's commitment to exploring Baja sometimes takes us down dead-end roads. In 2015, on our annual moto trip Rip to Cabo, we set out to cross bikes on boats known as pongas to a remote peninsula. What started as an exploration attempt turned into panic and bike recovery. After 9 years, the DA has returned to explore this remote section that has no exit, this time in our Can-Ams. There is a meandering fish camp road that vanishes into the beach rocks a few times, then heads up a narrow wash. There is a barrier at the top of the wash where we could see others had turned around. But with our Can-Ams and mostly expert drivers, we were able to navigate passage. This allowed me some wash shenanigans with my buddy Phil Blurton while looking for the old road. After some cat and mouse for the helicopter, found the remnants of the road at the slabs and were able to take a severely washed out road to the 1940s era mine. It was working in the same time frame when World War II was happening.
Down there, the peninsula run to the mine was absolutely awesome. You know, there's a lot less traveled past, I guess, to get there, and we kind of just forged our own way. And we went in areas you probably would never be able to get to in a truck, and we had a good time doing it, you know, kind of making our own trails and getting there to the beach to see the mine at the end of the trip.
Out here on the middle of an island or a point or a peninsula, got a magnesium mine. I'm not sure what they use it for. Cameron can lead us into that, but it's a pretty cool adventure. It's fun getting out here.
Just relics, right? I mean, take a look. It's like we walked the last part. Maybe an ore chute. You know, I'm not an expert at ore extraction, but I can tell you that some work going on out here. Look at all the Look at all the concrete. What happens is things get shut down
not being worked anymore. And the material that's not concrete or is movable usually disappears.
Yeah, it's cool though. Right out here in the middle of nowhere.
More exploration when we return to Baja and the Trail of Missions. The Desert Assassins are proud to partner with Monster Energy, Can-Am, Onyx Off-Road, and Raceline Wheels. Welcome back to the birthplace of Baja Spanish Mission Trail, Loreto, and the Monster Energy Trail Missions presented by Can-Am. This year we planned some extra time around Loreto, so this day we started out of the La Mission Hotel along the Malecon, or beachfront, and headed for the nearby arroyo that will take us to mission number 2 at San Javier. The area was founded in 1699. Along the way, Phil found a sweet jump built for the Baja races by town, and we stopped to session his Maverick R for the cameras. Phil was launching and hit it a couple times solidly with his Fox shocks sucking it up nicely. The Murrays got involved and sent it a couple times in their Maverick R as well. The Can-Am is an amazing piece of machinery, and in the right hands can be used in many ways, including flying, sort of. The wash takes us to the now paved but still treacherous San Javier Road, which takes us to this quaint mountain town in the Sierra de la Giganta range. The kids and people of town are always stoked to see us, and this time we had a little surprise for them as we brought our Beef catering crew to share a burger lunch with them today.
San Javier mission, having a great time down here, learning a bunch from the Desert Assassins. We always get to come down here, but we're already blasting through here on race course, never get to stop. Just enjoy the moment. It says right here, Cameron steel is accurate. It is 350 years old. It's been described.
It says that none of the first California missions succeeded in self-sufficiency because the food production was scarce. So they started planting olive trees to help with that.
San Javier, founded in 1699. It's his second mission location, but it is really the most fabulous one, and just stands in this valley so proud. It's just, for me to be able to share this and the olive tree and the locals and the culture, I'd say it's right up there with one of my favorite things to do. And as a reminder, no hats inside the mission.
To think that all the work that got put into this from so long ago.
What's crazy is these things are hundreds of years old and they're still standing and they're still holding up. And to think that the architecture and the way that they built these things hundreds of years ago and they're still here today, pretty phenomenal.
We call this a town fiesta and invited everyone from San Javier to share a meal with the DA. Randy and Juan Carlos of Beef cooked up some epic burgers, and all that joined were filled up.
So when we come to towns here in Mexico, we give the locals a chance to have a part of our community and get to enjoy all beef in style. They get to have lunch with us, and we this is our way of being able to give back, and they appreciate it, they love it, and we take care of our Mexican family.
Thank you.
There are so many roads and trails that develop in washes, and this one was used as a connector before a nearby graded road was finished. It was a surprise how smooth and fun the washes were. The annual storm season takes the washes and wipes tracks clean, and in turn leaves quite the palette to paint with our Can-Ams. No matter what we were doing, we end up with competition within this group. Larry and I did a drift-like run where passing wasn't the game, but some synchronized lines were the call. Larry is still on point at 80, and puts the tires exactly where he wants them. I think he's having trophy truck flashbacks to his 5 overall Baja 1000 wins as he rails the Can-Am X3 in two-wheel drive all day.
Larry Ragland. I'm from Cave Creek, Arizona. I've raced off-road for about, I don't know, I've lost track of years, but 45 years or so. Well, I was fortunate enough to win the Baja 1000 5 times. I won the first one in 1991, and the last one I won in 99. That's what I tell all the young guys. I said, hey, you got a long time, you know, so I didn't win the first one until I was 49, and then I won 5 of them.
Larry's an absolute legend, and it was so cool to see him out here running these Can-Ams.
Where do I start? Guy's 81 years old, ripping Baja. We're doing 250 miles a day. He's doing it no problem, and not only doing it, ripping and leading half of the time.
That guy is a beast. 81 years old, and he's so fast.
He's an absolute animal, and he was smooth. He loves the rally roads. He was in two-wheel drive, just ripping.
I hate being in the dust, but I'll sit there and eat Larry Ragland's dust any day. I learned lessons, I watched him drive, two-wheel ripping.
And he's the coolest dude ever. He's just a rad human being.
Dude's a stud, legend, Hall of Famer, and salt of the earth desert racing and dirt driving junkie. Larry is always invited on any DA trip. It's not often you can introduce me to Baja 1000 winners and 10+ year off-road racers that I haven't met. That's pretty much what happened on this year's Trail of Missions when the Murray brothers showed up. They are chill and on point. Fun is always the name of their game.
My name is Jason Murray. We're the driver of the 917 Can-Am Avar. We're one of Can-Am's longest running desert race teams. We've been racing down here in Baja for almost 12 years. This year we won the Baja 1000, and we figured what better way to come down and enjoy Mexico, but come down with the Desert Assassin crew, kick up some dirt with Cameron Steele, and learn from the best.
Off-road racing kind of started for us by, I call it luck, but I think it's also in our blood. Started with a Rhino in the side-by-side world, and it was fun. We had a good time with it. And then we realized, hey, we want to go a little faster. We got word Can-Am was coming out with a 1000cc Commander. Went out, bought one, built it up, and just started having fun. And the rest is history. We got a call from Can-Am one day out of the blue, and they're like, hey, we're putting a race team together. You want to go race? And we're like, yeah, we're in.
We've been with Can-Am since 2009. We've helped develop every single one of their side-by-sides, all the way from the Commander, all the way up to this new Mavar. We've been a part of it since the beginning. We've built a race car, and not only raced on it, but we've won on every single platform that Can-Am's ever produced. My brother's 3 years older than I am. We do a lot of stuff together. We run our businesses together. And to come down here and just enjoy Mexico together is awesome. What I really am looking forward to is one day getting our young kids down here so they can really appreciate and understand what we're doing and learn to love Baja the way we do.
Winning and having fun seem like a good recipe, and the Murrays have both on their resume. More Onyx-inspired route fun when we return to the Monster Energy Trail of Missions presented by Can-Am. When the Trail of Missions group looked at our Onyx maps and overlaid routes we have done in Baja, we found some epic spots to get out and shoot content.
The terrain in Baja is very diverse. I mean, you're getting sand, you're getting silt. The silt's crazy down here. It's something that you'll never find anywhere else. It's just like baby powder. It's like driving on the moon.
No one was disappointed with what we got into this day, smashing berms. When you smash the same silt turn a couple times, you get the opportunity to approach each run differently and see what works and doesn't work. Much of the plan is to just make big dusty berm shots come to life, so that's a whole different style of driving from racing.
Bill, we've had a great time hanging out down here. He's fast, he's smooth, he knows how to drive. Fun running with him. If you're in front of him, you know he's hunting you down. If you're behind him, you gotta push and hope he makes a mistake.
When the time is right and we're in certain areas, and he hooks it on pretty well. And I just try to keep up, as everybody else does, and follow him.
Phil sets a pace and laughs while blasting. A racer at heart, but a berm smasher by profession. Part of my job was to move camera crew around, and editor Ryan Rigg got to be in the car for a couple shots. That's him in the red shirt. With backdrops of the Sierra de la Giganta Mountains, more silt fun. Our media crew loved the X3 4-seater so much, they took turns driving it and banking shots. Jimmy Lee Cook has been with the DA over a decade, and Brian Binkert, aka Bink, knows a thing or two about making images come to life. Both are excellent drivers. Did I just say that? Bradley is a quiet one at times, but his driving tells you who the real Brad Howe is. A Baja winner and a solid wheelman.
Been racing against him for a long time. We've had some good stories this week because he always thought, we were the mean Murray brothers. Got to actually bond, tell a lot of stories, get the different perspectives this week. Great guy all around, and nothing but good things to say about Bradley.
Bradley, I absolutely love Bradley. He is part of our Allsup family. He's a hard worker, and he helps me on the side as well as Mitchell Allsup, and so that's kind of like he's part of my dream team that I have already, and helping me succeed. So thank you, Bradley.
Brad smashes, wins races, and overall has a vibe that is confident. More trail emissions when we return. The Monster Energy Trail Emissions, presented by Can-Am, has been brought to you by Monster Energy, Can-Am, Onyx Off-Road, and Baja Designs. Welcome back to the Monster Energy Trail Emissions presented by Can-Am. And I gotta tell you, Laredo is a tough place to leave. Yes, the original capital of the Californias, and so picture perfect. Sailboats on the water, islands out there just waiting for us to come swim. But we're getting in our Can-Ams because that's a lot of fun too. We're gonna be heading back to the west and the north. And our plan today is El Horno, the oven where they made the mortar for the San Javier and the Comondu missions. We're also going to see the Comondu mission and just keep having fun along the way, the salt flats of El Datil, on our way to ice cream in San Ignacio. The routes we will use today will vary from graded roads to rougher 2-tracks and a jumbled mix of fun, challenging, cruising style lines. The one obstacle that always makes me pucker a little are the cuts up and off the edge of the mesas that punctuate the landscape at the lower levels of the mountain range we are traveling through. El Horno is not much to see and even less spoken about, but it is a big part of mission trail construction. The mortar that holds the stones on the remaining missions replaced the adobe of the past and has fortified, pun intended, its place in history. The stark contrast of the purplish and orange-hued volcanic rocks all around this mostly manicured dirt road and lush popping green tops of the Palm Oasis signals that we are entering Comondu. one of those shocking to the senses contrasts that Baja is full of.
And everybody thinks, oh, you go to Baja, you're just sitting in the desert. Well, it's like, it's not all desert. Our first night here, we slept in the palm trees and woke up with palm trees. I send pictures back home and people don't understand. They just think of sand and cactus, you know?
The oasis feeling of Comondu is an obvious reason the missionaries chose this location in the early 1700s.
The rock itself is actually tumbled out of these cliffs probably right there. You can see like a big fall up there. They probably quarried it out of the side of the mountain, sent it down, and someone was breaking them and shaping them down below. Just the craftsmanship of how square these blocks are, right? And that someone was out here stacking these in likely 100-degree heat. And look at the perfect work done by hand, right? With the tools they had in the early 1700s. It's just kind of shocking to see.
It's pretty neat to come down here and check out all this history, especially we didn't even know it was here. Just race by here usually. Yeah, we get to fly by this, never get to stop and check it out. It's amazing.
More Baja to see, so let's get going. Speaking of stark contrast, mountains, plateaus, washes, roads are nothing. When El Pilon suddenly makes an appearance, you know you are in the mystical world of Baja. The river valley of La Purísima is a former mission site with no real ruins to see, but the water feature that drew the indigenous people and the Spaniards is still here, and the road happens to always cross the water when the DA is in town. Now, if you lean right at the water, you can have a little cool down, and it's a solid rock base. Sarah, Phil, and Larry do some slight leaning. Splash, splash, splash.
Well, we got the call from the chopper, and they said hit the water and veer right. So I did the same thing. I hit the water, veered a little right. I dropped 2 tires off the edge, was able to hold it in, and then Donna came ripping around the corner.
Donna from Bulletproof Diesel heard a little bit of chatter on the radio saying something about a little bit to the right, and in her defense, there are 2 cars and a camera sitting right where it looks like she may need to go.
And she went full send, dropped it in at least 3 to 4 feet of water, but she handled it awesome. She stayed on the gas, powered through, and ripped it right out the other side. It was awesome to see.
That was sick. That was awesome, Donna. Oh my God.
You know the water coming out of her car.
I think the shot of the trip goes to Donna Neal. Donna is one half of the Double D's with her partner in crime, Deanne Moore, one of the original principals at Baja Designs. She gets after it too. Double D's are double trouble around here.
Prep maintenance is important. We got a bolt back out on Deanne's car, but we have awesome tech Bradley down there doing work. But what's cool is Sarah Price, obviously, Dakar stage winner, the first time ever an American woman has won a stage in her Can-Am. And she's down there doing work and putting the car back together. And I was kind of thinking, while we have a second, let's find out what the ladies of Trail Missions have been up to.
The DA's history with women in motorsports is filled with racing championships, and this group have been smashing hand in hand with the gents, which is to be expected.
Yeah, usually I am the only female, so it's been really cool to share this and have, you know, they are badasses. Like, we're not going slow out there. Like, we're pushing it, and we're going fast, and we're making time, and we're logging miles, and they hang. And so it's pretty cool to be around other women that are so into it and love it just like I do.
Welcome back to Baja and the Monster Energy Trail Emissions presented by Can-Am.
Day 5, that's right, it's time to make more dust. Visita Pablo, some new routing we've never seen before, all dirt, all the way to Guerrero. We'll see if we can make it happen.
What do I think? I think we're having an awesome time. It's pretty cool to come down here and ride with past Baja legends, future Baja legends, and current Baja legends. It's been an amazing trip, man. We're having a blast. Last day. Let's see if we can get it.
It's been great fun getting to know the Murrays. Their attitude on this trip has made it a great fit having them along. The miles and miles of radio chatter and occasional stops where cell phones don't work make for great camaraderie. Today we are getting way off the cellular grid at a behind a lock gate location we have special permission to visit.
Vita Pablo is what they call it. Originally it was going to be a mission site, but there's not much left. It's like 4 kind of arched ways where those used to hold up the roof of the Visita. And it's very remote. It's just amazing to think that they walked up through here, the indigenous people, the Spaniards. Bottom line was they were trying to have a mission or a mission visita or visiting center within a day's hike. How far out we are, we're at least 60 miles away from anything, maybe more. And just out here sits these relics, and it's a part of history. We had to come on the Trail of Missions to see it.
It's the remote locations like Vita Pablo that allow us miles of desolate Baja to test the Maverick R, and I would say completely test. Getting to rail this car is a special treat, and it never complains. The Maverick R is a game changer.
It is unbelievable to see the capabilities of this new Maverick R. We started with Can-Am from the beginning of time, from the Commander, and developed and worked on the side-by-sides all the way up to this new Maverick R. And oh my gosh, it is crazy to see how far they have come.
They are a beast, to say the least. Like, has good power, and the steering, you can honestly steer the thing with your pinky. It's just super agile.
The suspension is just super robust. I mean, you can hit things unlike any other car I've ever driven, and the motor is just super torquey, bigger turbo.
You know, the X3s were an amazing car, but now it's like this is just a whole nother level of car down here. Especially having the manual gearbox.
It's like driving a sports car. I mean, you can slap through the shifting. I mean, and it's instantaneous. So you can shift up, shift down. I mean, on the highways, it's a blast to drive, not just on the dirt. You can drive that thing anywhere.
So the Maverick R is a sequential gearbox, so you don't have a belt, and that is the best thing about all of it.
Yeah, all UTVs, it's always been a belt drive car, and so that's been what we focus on, is what the belt temperature is. It's almost funny, like hopping into a UTV and not packing a spare belt anymore. We just raced San Felipe, and we ran the car for over 100 miles an hour for 20 miles straight, no belts to worry about.
Yeah, I do remember a handful of years back him calling us golf carts and things like that. Now, you know, he's out here racing with us. Kind of cool to see. It's kind of neat to see these guys who have been staples in the game and basically dominating the off-road series for so long to now come and race with us, and now we get to rub rubber with them and have fun and race. It's pretty cool.
It's shocking what our Can-Ams can do. That's an understatement for sure.
We've been coming to Baja for about 13, 14 years, and I feel like I've never been here before based on all the information that Cameron's been sharing with us. He's just a wealth of knowledge, and I hope and I'm looking forward to coming back and doing this again sometime.
He has such a respect for Baja and such a love for Baja and so passionate about it. That's what he tries to pass on to all of us.
Watch this on TV. It's just so beautiful. I wanted to see more of Baja. And there's nobody better than Cameron to show you the best places, the most scenic, beautiful beaches, just learning the history from the missions to, you know, how things were built down here. Just absolutely mind-blowing experience, and I'm so glad we made it down, and hopefully there's another shot at this in the future.
He brings all of us together. He created this. He is what this is about. He goes to towns in Mexico and through Baja, and he gives back to them, and he educates people on it, and he respects it. And I think that's so important to kind of hand that down and teach it, you know? Just really cool what he does, and he cares so much about it, you know? And so we need more people like him in the motorsport world, that's for sure.
Dang, our producer Neil Goss and editor Ryan Ray jumped me with a puff piece. I'm blushing, but more importantly, I'm bummed to say time is running out on this trip.
That is a wrap on Trail Missions 2024. Coming home, 2 freaking good running Can-Ams still. And now I'm ready to go do it all over again. I think we did almost 900 miles, so that was a good trip.
Actually, my favorite part was eating dust from Larry Ragland. I'm not a huge fan of eating dust, but sitting behind that guy ripping through the dunes was probably one of the funnest days of riding I've had in my entire life.
Couldn't have been any better. Covered a lot of ground. I think we were about 900 miles-ish, and saw some cool sights, hung out with some great people, and made some good memories. So look forward to doing this again. Thanks, Cameron.
Dozen Can-Ams, 1,000 miles, missions, beaches, food, margaritas. It was a damn good trip.
The stoke is real with these guys, I'll tell you that for sure. And Trail Missions goes off without a hitch once again. The Can-Ams are on the trailers, everybody is smiling. We're able to share the beautiful places, wonderful people, explore a little bit, and dig down into the history and the culture of Baja. I think that's gonna do it for the Monster Energy Trail Missions presented by Can-Am. I'm Cameron Steele saying, we'll catch you next time we make dust in Baja.